You know, there's a lot of talk about music in video games. Stuff from levels and environments to all kinds of sort of things. But I want to talk about character themes. No real dramatic introduction is needed for a character theme. It's the theme of the character. What I always loved about character themes is their way to essentially inform you about a character without having the story or anything around the story really say the character's, well, characterization, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll give you a few examples to explain what I mean. Christmas 2007. You remember it quite well. Your mom, not mine, waltzed into your room with a present. It's a gift for your new Nintendo DS. But it's not Mario or even Sonic Rush, it's a puzzle game. Get the fuck out of my room! Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. Little did I know that this simple piano theme that would swell up with more and more instruments would become something that I would hear rarely, but very fondly throughout the course of my adventures in the Professor Layton franchise. Layton's theme comprised of pianos, I believe a harmonica, and a violin, with a soft drum beat in the background. As the pianos create a, well, I want to say mesmerizing, curious even, kind of feel to them, as the violin heightens it to bring it all together. It's funny because every Layton game does have its own theme to it, but this game starts off with the theme of the professor. I mean, it makes sense, it's his series, but usually they would save the professor's theme in-game for any time the professor does something very extraordinary or out of the ordinary. I found myself just staying on this menu for a while, just letting this theme play as it just envelops a sense of curiosity and wonder, something that the Layton games are particularly famous for. But there's always this calm sense to it, like an English gentleman, something that the professor very much is. It actually makes how, I guess, endearing in a way his theme is even more comical, considering the fact that the Ace Attorney crossover would throw his theme out the moment this man breathes, objects, does anything. Like, hell, the man could just have a normal conversation, his theme song will play. In fighting games, characters are pretty simple. What you see is what you get, and it doesn't really change more than that. Which is why, in terms of representing the fighting games in this video, who else would I be talking about other than Ryu from Streets? For those who don't know, Ryu is described as a bum. This man travels the world and has no job, but he always strives for better improvement of his life. He trains day in and day out, seeking out only the best in the world, but never doing it for anything like personal wealth or gain like that. He does it to better himself. Something I'm sure we can all agree with. And his theme represents that. Using his most iconic version, which in my opinion is the one from Street Fighter 2, I think this theme is portrayed pretty well. No matter how busy it gets with those oriental sounds and that high stakes violin, or just all the other noises that you hear all combined together, Ryu's theme is carried together by its steady drum beat that never changes throughout the entirety of the melody, along with that steady bass line. The theme in and of itself gives this sense of challenge and never backing down from it. Like close your eyes for a second. Imagine a man climbing up a mountain, but no matter how tired or how treacherous the mountain gets, he keeps climbing up that mountain and never backing down for this chance to climb even higher. Now imagine a guy fighting, and there you have Ryu. Although personally, in my opinion, I think the best Ryu theme is actually one that represents his more younger years. The one from Street Fighter Alpha 3, titled The Road. This theme keeps the same flow, but changes up how it's presented in a more energetic and roundabout kind of way. What I mean is, there's a lot more going on in it when you listen, but there's still that Ryu in it. Instead of sounding like a more mature person who's climbing up that mountain, you got a guy who's just ready to prove himself, excited to challenge the world. Because in the Alpha series, he's younger. Yeah, theme sounds pretty good, right? Although, I don't think a lot of people actually know this theme is Ryu's theme. Now, Sonic has a lot of vocal themes. A lot of themes that represent not only him, but also the games that he represents in that time. But there is a lot of discussion around the community about what exactly is Sonic's theme. Well, obviously, it doesn't matter from Sonic Adventure, right? I mean, it's literally his character theme. The lyrics just talk about a very chill, simple guy living life his own way, no matter what other people think about him. At the same time, you have something like Endless Possibilities from Sonic Unleashed, a song that sings about traveling the world and just never letting anything bring you down. And that if you try hard, your possibilities are, well, not limited, I guess. A lot of people also like Sonic's conviction as a character to stick to his guns no matter what. So a lot of people also like Night of the Wind. The point is, there's a lot of themes for one character, which in the Sonic series is actually very, very surprising. A lot of characters actually have their own theme, and they stick to that theme, no matter how many times we see them.
There are some exceptions, like Shadow, who have multiple themes, but will usually only stick to one of them.
Well, I guess with one dark exception. As for example, Eggman's theme, Eggman, eventually it got replaced by this orchestrated theme here. Instead of sounding like some 90s song of a declaration of war, this theme is just giving off the fact that this guy is bad news, and he is bad news. And ever since this theme was introduced to Sonic
06,
it's never really left Eggman. This theme is Eggman. How come Eggman can have one theme and Sonic can have so many? Well, the answer to that is simple. Sonic's character is someone who's defined by the adventures that they're having in the moment. So, in a sense, I guess every main theme is Sonic's theme. Cop-out answer? Maybe. But I mean, isn't that kind of the point? What you see is what you get, and what you get is a guy who's usually identified in the moment, because Sonic lives for the present, not the past or the future. But honestly, Sonic's best theme is his world. Anyway, what are some of your favorite themes of a character? And if this video does well, I'll even make a follow-up with more characters I like in their themes. Alright, take care.